A Very British Scandal is a 2021 historical drama television miniseries starring Claire Foy as Margaret Campbell, Duchess of Argyll, and Paul Bettany as Ian Campbell, the 11th Duke of Argyll. The production company, Blueprint Pictures, previously made a Very English Scandal in 2018 about the Thorpe affair. Written and created by Sarah Phelps, A Very British Scandal premiered in the United Kingdom on BBC One on the 26th of December 2021 and was released to Amazon Prime Video on April 22nd, 2022. The 3-episode series dramatises the marriage of Margaret Campbell and Ian Campbell, the 11th Duke of Argyll and Chief of Clan Campbell, and the media frenzy surrounding their 1963 Argyll vs Argyll divorce case. It became a notorious and scandalous legal case, featuring accusations of adultery, forgery, theft, violence, drug use, and bribery. The series explores the social and political climate of post-war Britain and the attitudes towards women in the 1960s. In March of 2021, it was announced that Claire Foy and Paul Bettany had been cast in the lead roles of A Very British Scandal, a follow-up to 2018's A Very English Scandal, which of course starred Hugh Grant. It was also announced that Sarah Phelps would write and executive produce, with Anne Scuity directing and executive producing. The series was filmed in Scotland and England, including Scotland's Inverness Castle, home of the Duke of Argyll, Glen Etive in Scottish Highlands, Edinburgh's Parliament House, and the Sheraton Grand London Park Lane Hotel, Kimpton Fitzroy London Hotel, Goldsmiths Hall in London, and the Rivoli Ballroom in London. Now I must praise the writing and the casting of the two leads, as well as the portrayal of Margaret as an independent woman, but not as a heroic figure. Foy and Bettany are both exceptional in their roles. The sets are stunning, as well as the clothing and the attention to detail of the period, but it's the cast in particular here for me that make the show. Foy has poise and elegance, and there's times that you feel for her, and the other times you think that she's more than tough enough to survive in this fake world that they've created for themselves. It's a nice change of pace to see Paul Bettany here playing an arrogant, upper-crust, spoilt and snobbish Ian Campbell, who in real life was married 4 times and said to be physically and mentally abusive to his wives as he battled with various addictions. Foy's take on Margaret Campbell is interesting to say the least, as you see a real woman, not perfect, not an angel, but very tough to her core. Margaret, sometimes Duchess of Argyll, was rich, beautiful and utterly entitled woman, and her marriage to the Duke, a spendthrift drunk, was a disaster. We know about this because their divorce became a matter of media scandal, and was even brought into the inquiry that followed the Profumo affair. It is fascinating to see the way our society shamed women for their sexuality, and how immediately Margaret was judged for being the impropriety in this whole situation. Nonetheless, though, it is hard to avoid concluding that someone who believes in their absolute right to do as they please is ultimately going to face consequences. The show does tend to drag a little bit at times, and maybe it could have been shortened somewhat, but in saying that, though, I love the performances, and particularly Claire Foy, who really steals the show, although Paul Bettany matches her step for step. This show is worth a watch, particularly if you are fascinated in the history of the time, and just to see how much we have changed in terms of our society's norms, and in the same breath, how little we have also changed. A Very British Scandal gets 7.5 out of 10.